You're welcome, broken daughter. You know, look, there's a couple of things that I don't and have changed. So, yeah, sissy, right. I've changed up the platform a little bit, not a whole lot. Everybody has an opportunity to speak up and at least have a voice. All that I ask is that everybody in the chat be respectful, open minded. Hi, Van Boozled. How you doing, dear? Welcome into live. Mandy Ray, welcome. This is going to be a live that's going to be from a different perspective. I did do some research. I did do uh, my homework. I don't know anything about psychic mediums, but I do know a little bit now more than what I did before, which is interesting. Yes, I did see his heart monitor, and yes, that is not in the correct location for the heart monitor. I have receipts too, by the way. They're on Trollovision's video showing his heart monitor. It is in the wrong location, folks, which makes me wonder if it's really even his or not. Hi, Maggie Snorting Calculator. Okay, be right back. Yeah, he does look rough. He does look rough. I'm not going to deny that. But, you know, it's a never ending cause in that situation. We've all tried to offer him help and everything. Hi, Lazy Days. We tried to offer him help and he doesn't want it. So, um, but this evening's live is going to be focused on psychic mediums, what it takes. Um, Questions will be asked. All I ask is that everybody be respectful in the chat. That's all I ask. If you are not respectful, you will be muted. If you come back and you're not respectful again, you will be nannered completely. No, uh, this is a story by a young woman that is brave enough to put her story out to give explanation, guidance, and her awareness. Yeah. Her. Thank you, Bugs. Any mods that are in here, all I ask is you give them a warning and you mute them. That's it. Um, that being said, let's get this all started. I'm going to invite her up. Okay, she's been invited. Van Boozled, if you want, um, you're welcome to a box too, to at least
Hello?
put your 2 cents in.
Oh,
Uh,
hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you again for inviting me and allowing me just the chance to speak on this because I feel it's very important. I appreciate it so much.
No, you're absolutely fine.
Um,
T-Bone's little ones. How have I lost it? Hold, please. Is that meant to be funny? Comical? Okay. Well, I see you only have 8 followers, so that tells me a lot about your page.
oh, um, so I guess I'll go ahead and start if that's okay.
No, that's absolutely
Oh,
fine. The
okay.
floor is yours. I'm going to mute.
Okay. So, as many of you are probably aware, my mother has been a very controversial person lately. Her account on TikTok is Psychic Medium Mickey. Um, and I just want to speak up on how she is making so many mistakes. She is hurting so many people. And I just feel like I have no other options at this point. She won't listen to me. She values the input of her moderators, which we'll get on in a second. And I just I see all the hurt that is coming from people who are sharing their stories on Reddit, who are sharing their stories on TikTok, and I just it breaks my heart because if you had asked me about 2 years 2 years ago if I thought things would turn out this way, I would have never have seen this coming in a million years. And it just breaks my heart how things are turning out. Um, so my father died just under 2 years ago. It'll be the anniversary at the start of next month, November. So it's still very fresh. Yes, I am aware she demoted them, but that's a very interesting thing to do right before this live happened. Um, so um, gosh, there's just so much to go over. But in my perspective, right after my dad died, me and my mom and my brother moved in together, and we wanted to be there to support her. But just little things kept happening here and there. She was making comments about how she was talking to my dad, how he was there. And I don't want to go too much into what happened with my dad, but it was a very traumatic experience, how he passed away. And she would make videos and post it on her social media about how she's seen orbs and she has dowsing rods. And, I don't want to control my mom or tell her what to do or anything of that sort. But I just feel like she is harming a lot of people because she is making it evolved from her saying she was talking to my dad on a regular basis, and then it evolved into, I guess, someone encouraged her here on TikTok, I suppose, that she could possibly talk to the spirits of people who have passed away. And I don't know much on the whole medium aspect. This is just like the emotional perspective of her daughter seeing her spiraling downward, and I'm just trying to get her help, and she just won't listen. um but I'm sorry, this is so much to go over. I'm trying to keep everything coherent.
Take your
um
time. This is
yeah,
not a timed event, okay? We're not in the Olympics or anything
yeah.
else.
I appreciate it. I had a hunch, like, just a growing pit in my stomach for months now. I didn't want to monitor what my mom is doing, but there was just something inside of me that just told me to see if it got to the point where she was having notoriety, I suppose. Um and then I just happened to come across a Reddit. Despite what everybody thinks, despite what narrative might be out there, no one sent this Reddit to me. No one messaged me or contacted me. I just had a suspicion. And then I looked into it. The founders of the Reddit page, it, to my understanding, the Reddit group is r/psychic_medium_Mickey. To my understanding, the people who founded this were two individuals who had nothing in common, no connections prior. But they got readings from my mom. And I'll explain how this so-called process goes, where she does readings in a moment. But they both got readings from her, and they just felt that she didn't connect. And it has evolved, and the internet is a very scary place with just how something can blow up. Like, it takes a snap, and then things just go where they go, I suppose. Um, but my mom is so set that, there's only 5 people or so, the main bad guys, but she won't listen to reason that the one thing that connects all these people is because of experiences they had with her, or they are discovering things that she has done. And these people are saying this isn't right. They're not trying to harass her. They're not trying to just bring her down. They are trying to explain that she has hurt them. And the thing is that um she will always make it so it's always everyone else's fault. It's never her fault. She thinks I'm being brainwashed because I'm speaking out. She thinks that the Reddit has turned me against her. And I just want to see this stop. And if, and yeah, she is also encouraging really bullying tactics. Like her moderators have doxed people. They put up a woman's profile picture and, just talked so horribly about her appearance. And it's just, she won't face accountability. She is um, just, it's always someone else's fault. It's never her fault. Um, and to loop back to the reading process. So um, she will be on TikTok for 8, 10, sometimes 12 hours a day, just on her TikTok lives in her false bubble of positivity. And, you can't bring up anything negative. Um, for the for the readings, she will usually she's kind of switched up the tactics a little bit, but um as of late she'll do spirit-led readings. And again, I'm not arguing for or against mediums as a practice. I'm sure there are legitimate people, but at the moment I don't feel my mom is one of these people. I just feel like she is not being sincere, and it, it it's just it's awful to just watch this unfold. Um, as for the spirit-led readings, and feel free to correct me in the chat because I do work third shift, so I cannot be up monitoring her 24/7 despite what she might think. I am not watching her every second of the day. I don't want to. She will throw out to her crowd, I guess, I'm feeling uh this person died from this death, or she'll throw out letters, and people will claim it, I suppose. And then my mom will say something of the sort as, well, I feel right now it's like an 80% connection. And then she will just she has a notebook that she'll write down, and she'll go on a ramble and until like the person slips up and accidentally provides more information. And she won't charge for these so-called readings. So if you've paid attention to her, you've noticed that she doesn't really seem enthusiastic about it. And then whereas if you pay her, it's $35, she will she will let you speak. Um she can't provide evidential evidence. So for example, if you grew up I don't know, on a ranch with a bunch of animals, she would trick you into revealing that information. She can't say, I see that you rode horseback with your dead uncle, every Tuesday, second Tuesday of the month. She can't provide concrete evidence like that. She will manipulate people into revealing this information. She can't provide anything that is factual. So she will let people ramble on and on and on, from what I've seen personally. And then she will talk so long to stall, and she will kind of like occasionally feedback stuff that you have already told her and make it seem like she came up with that. Um, and as people have mentioned, she has I don't know what it is, but she has a need to focus on people who have miscarried, and it hurts me so much. This is going to be really intense for people who have experienced that. And, I understand if you need to, leave the chat and not listen to this, but she will bring up miscarried babies and ask people who have lost their babies to name these babies who never had the chance to be born, who never drew any breath. And that is such a sensitive and emotional topic. And she just doesn't have the shame to realize why that is not okay. Um, and it's like you can't verify something like that. Um, you can't really verify these miscarried babies. It's it's really sad and it's so tragic, and I feel so bad for these mothers because I know recently she just had one who had lost her baby, I think maybe a week or so prior to this. It's it's awful. And again, this is a very hard topic. I don't know if she miscarried. She had never shared this with me. And that's the thing, my mom just doesn't share a lot about herself, but in on this like on the other hand, she also will also like always make these readings about her. I think she is still processing my dad's death, because she will always make the topic revolve back to her and make it relate to my dad in some way. um that oh and that's another thing. If people are unsatisfied with these readings, she will block people. She will ghost them if they try to request refunds. And that's where a lot of this ire, a lot of this aggravation is coming from, because she is doing her best to avoid accountability. Um, and so with that, I want to kind of go back to things. She will do a process called cold reading, which is what I sort of touch bases on, but it's just her guessing. I don't know how else to explain it. She will I'm assuming she's researching people, or her mods might be researching people. This is all alleged. I don't have 100% facts, but it's just on of what I've observed, I suppose. Of what I've observed, how I see her react, like, and that's the thing, she tells on herself a lot with her facial expressions. And it's really stupid, but in her glasses you can see reflections of her screen, and she denies a lot of this. Hi Ruth. Hi Ruth. um I wanted to shout out to you because I've just been touched by what you've been going through, and I'm sorry again. And people are saying, don't apologize for your mom, but it's just on the fact that I feel so much shame, and I've tried for so long to talk her out of doing this. I really do. Yeah, she is avoiding. I do think that's what it stems from. She is avoiding a lot of the grief and just the trauma of what happened to my dad. But anyway, sorry for the tangent. Going back to um cold readings, she will let people give her this information, and I think a lot of it is just people like myself aren't super familiar with the whole medium thing. They are not in the right mindset. They are processing their grief still. Something probably is really fresh, or it's been a few years and they just want to know, if their loved one had any messages. They probably don't look into this sort of thing, and for whatever reason her TikTok gets recommended on their feed. um but cold reading, I don't, let me look up the definition, just to make it simple for you guys. But
Somebody did mention in the chat that a cold reading is a broad spectrum to open up the concept of a psychic reading or a reading would be
yeah,
my guess.
yeah, that checks out. And it's just, it's high probability guesses
Mhm.
after you observe information like their facial expressions, um how their voice shifts. And it's easier to do this in person. um but for example, it could be something broad as saying like, I'm sensing a family member with marital issues. Or my mom will put in little bits and pieces of compliment saying, "You're so kind, you love them so much." And that's what she'll say. She'll say stuff like, "He loved you so much." But then she will also flip it and say that this person is so miserable and upset that they're dying. And to my understanding, I want to believe that people are at peace when they pass away, and they wouldn't want you to feel guilty that they're dead. So I don't see that it's a kindness to say something like that, to make someone feel sad that someone passed away and you just question everything you knew about them. Um, I know she told someone that her this lady's husband is having an affair on her, and you don't have that kind of proof to be able to say something like that. And then I remember a while ago she told someone that there was money hidden inside their house. So I just hope that that woman isn't tearing her house upside down. Um, and then, kind of going off of that, she will make really, I don't know how else to phrase it, but crazy medical claims. She once told a lady, which I'm sure if you've seen Bamboozled account, she has claimed to have cured cancer. And when I heard that, I was like, what are you talking about, Mom? You can't say that, because this person, to my understanding, has been getting treatment for cancer and she was in remission. Um, and and then she allegedly cured autism from a child, which just, I don't know how else to feel but to laugh, because I am low support needs on the spectrum. And I don't know how that makes me feel if she just says she cures cancer just like that. Um, and it breaks my heart as her daughter. Um,
Because it puts you in a position that if people knew who you were,
yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah,
not right either.
yeah, exactly. And it just, it does make me really sad, because it just makes me wonder, does she want to take away like me for being autistic? And despite what people say, there's no cure for autism. It's a spectrum. It's just a part of who you are from the moment you're born, because it is in your genetics. And I know that's a bit of a hot topic for some people, but that is just who I am.
Yeah, but remember this, and Mabel Rose just stated it in the chat. You are not your mother. You are your own self.
Thank you.
And that's the important thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from and the concept that you want your mom to do the right thing and run the right path. Um,
Hmm.
but it almost seems in a sense that she's taken the path that she wants to take, which is, and I also agree with you to the fact where she may be emotionally hurt
Yeah.
because of the loss of your father.
Yeah.
She may be mentally or psychologically scarred because
Yeah.
of it. And this is the direction that she feels that she should go in, but it's not the right direction.
Yeah. And it's just hard, because I do love my mom. If I didn't love my mom, I wouldn't be speaking out like this. It's
Right.
just, it's a very hard thing to know how to navigate, because I just never expected life to turn out this way for, my family. Um,
Well, my thing is, and I saw somebody's comment, she almost caused a young individual to unalive themselves.
yes. Oh gosh. Yeah. So I think about this a lot, and I was just so disappointed in her. I don't know the time frame exactly, but I think I learned about it in July. Feel free to correct me in the chat. Um, but this mother wrote on the Reddit page about how her daughter, um, the daughter reached out to my mother to get a reading for her father, who had passed very recently from cancer. I didn't watch the reading myself, but the aftermath was horrible. My mother strongly implied that this woman would probably get cancer like her dad. And to anybody, that would just break you mentally, especially if you just lost a parent to that. So the mother explained how her daughter had to be hospitalized because she was most likely a danger to herself. And that breaks my heart. That it's like, how could you do that? You know, what if someone had done something like that to me? And um, she allegedly talked to the mother, my mom did, and everything seemed to be amicable between them. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering a little bit. Um, and then my mother, the same day in her live, victim blamed that poor lady who had to be hospitalized. She's like, she wasn't ready to hear my message. You know, if you guys aren't ready for what you might hear in my readings, don't get my readings. And then her little minion, I'm just going to call him that, Sean, he had the gall to say that she probably already had mental health issues. And this is very easy to see in the Reddit. I can't recommend looking through it enough because they have so much screenshots, they have so much proof of what is said. Um, and it just disgusts me because my mother victim blames someone for a very, very serious mental health episode. And that is not okay. And I am afraid to think of how many other people out there might be like that. People whose family didn't know about the Reddit, people whose family didn't know about my mom's readings. And what if someone, you know, has something like has done something serious? Yes, someone said they aren't I think of them as victims. I do think of them as victims as well, because a lot of these people who reach out for the readings, they are just still trying to process their grief. They're not they are having, you know, their own mental health struggles because grief is an ugly thing. Yeah, Mickey, yeah, my mom's still Mickey. She still says that the girl must have problems. Yeah.
Real quick,
Yeah.
River in the chat said, "Serious question: why would anyone even believe in this stuff?"
Um,
Well, here's the thing: it's baiting people. It's getting them manipulated to believing what one thinks they can do,
yeah. Yeah.
and then they give them that promise, they give them that hope. Hey,
Yes.
look, I can read your mind. Henceforth, the reason why the live is called "Can You Read My Mind?"
Yeah.
And then they draw them in, they give them
Mhm.
the it's the same as a scammer and a beggar. They give you that manipulation aspect
Yeah.
of woe's me, I need this, or
Yep.
I want this,
Yep.
or they'll manipulate individuals with animals, pets. And in this
Yes.
case, what she's doing, and no, Jackie, it's not all of them, but in this case it is with her. What she'll do is, and I'm starting to understand her a lot more from your description and your, yes, thank you. There it is. Ruru said it best. Vulnerable targets.
Mhm.
They target.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like that people this is just probably me talking, but I feel like people want to believe the best of everyone they interact with. So they don't see someone who is a predator, someone who will prey upon your emotions and feelings. My mom, I've said it so many times before even all of this, she's always been a very personable person. Her history before this is that she worked in assisted living. She would be with clients, you know, hours upon the day, just helping people who need help, like really frail and old people at the end of their lives. So I don't know if this also factors into it, but my mom's always been a people person, even if she doesn't always understand social cues. And you know, this is just me speculating, but I think she could be on the spectrum, just like I am, but she just has never been diagnosed. I don't know if she's ever been interested in getting diagnosed. So I think that's where it might be drawing from as well. She's just hyper fixated on this. And even before this, she was really obsessed with what is her name? The Long Island medium Teresa Caputo back in like the
Yeah,
mid 2000s.
Caputo.
I'm sorry if I butchered her last name.
No, you're okay.
And then she would watch like Bigfoot documentaries.
Well,
And
Van Boozled turned around and brought up a good one. Cleo.
yeah, Miss Cleo.
Miss Cleo.
I don't know if my mom actually watched Miss Cleo, but again, kind of that similar practice, yes. And it kind of resurfaced on the Reddit, but my mom, there was a video that was right after my dad died that my mom had already just days after he died, she was using an app called Ghost Tube or something. And the thing with that kind of stems into technology, like I feel like technology is really scary these days because she was so ready to believe that this technology made by a person that generated words about what she wanted to hear, um and she was very vulnerable in the beginning as well. I know she is still processing a lot from my dad, but it doesn't excuse how she's hurting people, and that's what I want to bring awareness to. I do love my mom, and it's like you said, she's chosen this path. Someone asked, what will it take for her to stop this? I'm sorry if I missed the name. I don't know. I've emailed TikTok privately. I've said, I'm this person's daughter. I don't believe what she's doing is right. Can you please look into this? And I was just given a generic, here's how to report things. But again, like I touched on previously, I work third shift. I can't always be up to watch what my mom is doing. So that's why I rely on the Reddit page to just kind of keep tabs of what's going on, even if I don't post on it.
Now, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Who's this Sean individual? Does he seem
Oh,
like an enforcer
oh boy,
slash?
Sean. I've got words to say about Sean. Um, oh,
Hold on, I'll
okay.
bring this picture up.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you, Ashley. If I have my phone tilted at an angle, so I'm kind of missing the chat. I promise that's not intentional.
This
Okay.
is Sean's page.
Okay. So, Sean, let's talk about Sean because he likes to be talked about, it seems like. Um, so to my understanding, and I'm going to touch on her other Maud Miranda too, but Sean is the most important. To my understanding, he's only been her moderator for, I want to say July is when he came into the picture. And yes, he does have a few alt accounts, but this is his main one, to my understanding. So Sean is my mom's minion, her shadow, her ear. I believe he is escalating things and stirring her up intentionally to make her upset and more upset to where she will act out on lives. But Sean, I don't know why he's so obsessed on speaking for my mom. But he will harass people. Ruth, who I mentioned earlier, he actually messaged her multiple times to harass her, but he will just say things in my mom's lives while she's doing the readings to make her more upset. And he is the one who victim blamed that poor woman who had to be hospitalized. He is allegedly married, and he works, and it's like, how do you have time to be helping my mom do this? She did supposedly unmod him, but I just feel like it was a tactic, and he'll probably be made a mod again. he's not a good person. Like someone who can devote this much time to harass people. He and Miranda and one other person used the picture of Diane, D Life is her account, as their profile pictures. It was about early September, to mock her appearance and just be utter bullies. And I feel like a lot of this has escalated because of Sean, and I am just not impressed with how he's been. He's just not a good person.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ashley. Sorry that they harass you. And D, I'm sorry that they harassed you and bullied you.
Yeah, it's just it's 2025. It's just, why are we still being so ugly at people? I just
Well,
don't
my
understand.
question is, why are we being so childish? This isn't elementary
Exactly.
school. This is real life.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a very good point.
Exposing Scammers asked, "What does your siblings think of this?"
Um, so I promised them I wouldn't bring them up if I could avoid it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no,
Hey,
no.
hey, that's fine.
Yeah. Um, I will say, just my brother, I know he is exhausted of this and he doesn't like it either. He just wishes my mom would stop, and that's what I'll say about him. As for my sister, I know there's a lot of controversy surrounding her as well, but I'm not going to speak on her actions. She is free to come if she wishes, but I'm not going to speak on what she's doing. And I hope everyone can understand that. You know,
Absolutely.
I've said what I said to her, and I have my feelings, but I just, to keep the peace, I'm just not going to bring her up.
No, and the thing is everybody's entitled to their privacy. So,
Yeah, yeah. And so going back to her mods, Miranda is also, she's like bad in different ways. She's sort of like the lesser of two, but she gives off so many mean girl vibes. Um, and she she kind of reminds me of my mom, but she's very mean girl. Um, um, I know she's had her child talk on my mom's lives before, which I've always felt is weird. I'm not a fan about how my mom will have children speak on her lives, which she has done multiple times as well.
wait a minute, wait a minute. What do you mean speak on her lives? Actually, in a
So
box?
so I guess Miranda's account will be speaking, and then Miranda will have her child speak, and I know, I think she had it fairly recently. Yeah, and they'll try to turn the kids against the Reddit. It's like, why are you having children speaking on your lives? Yeah, her
Yeah.
daughter would pray. Miranda's daughter would pray. And I just think that's really weird. Um,
Yeah, that's actually kind of creepy.
yeah, yeah. Oh, she did it today? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. And
Yeah, Ruru, underage violation.
yeah, on that tangent, the internet is just a really dangerous place for children as it is.
Oh yeah.
And I've told my mom I don't think that's okay to have children be speaking on your lives. And I think when I mentioned earlier about how she claimed she cured autism, it was for a child. And that's just, I don't know how to think about that.
Yeah.
Um, so going back to my mom, so there was a situation, it wasn't super serious, had happened towards the end of last month, I believe, sometime in September. You know, and as that's the thing with my mom being on these lives all the time, it felt like a microphone was just constantly shoved against our doors, like we couldn't express anything because things could be heard and misconstrued. Um, so my brother, he also has third shift hours as a sleeping schedule. And, my cats were being cats and just aggravated him. And he raised his voice. I was at work at the time, so I missed what happened. And, she was just bringing attention to how he yelled at the cats for a few seconds, I guess. And that's a thing that just happens sometimes. He doesn't always yell at them. He's not abusive. And then, it just got misconstrued that my brother was aggressive to the cats, and that wasn't the case. But it got to the point where I just told my mom, you have to choose me and my brother living here or to continue to do this. And for context, when I talked to her, it was like the next day or the day after. She was on our live. I would turn off her live for like 20 minutes so I could talk to her. But she just muted it. She had her live still going. She just had it muted. She couldn't just say to the chat, "Hey guys, I'll be back in a few. I just need to talk to my daughter." And that just kind of broke, like it was a straw that broke the camel's back. I'm like, "Okay, what do you choose? Do you choose me and my brother living like with us, or do you choose to always be on TikTok, to always be having lives, to always having a microphone in our house? We can't even express how we feel." Um I'm sorry, Ashley, that she does that. I do believe that.
Well,
Um,
and here's the other thing too. When you're done putting out your information, I'd like to get some individuals up in the
yeah,
boxes because they
yeah,
also have a right to their own voice to put out
right,
too, if they're
right, of
willing to
course,
want a box.
of course. Um, so after that happened, she's been outside in our backyard in our shed. Um, and this thing doesn't have insulation, it doesn't have power, so she has the doors propped open and stays on it while there's daylight, and um she'll even be on it when the sun's gone down and it's dark outside. Um, choose to do this instead of taking a step back and thinking, maybe I do need to rethink like my life choices. Um, and she choose to just stay outside for still 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day instead of just trying to see where I'm coming from. I've been told recently that my dad would be embarrassed and ashamed of what I'm doing, and it is getting cold outside at night. And she thinks that everyone else is her enemy, and she doesn't realize that she is the reason that she has these so-called enemies, whereas they're just people who don't want to see other people get hurt and taken advantage of financially. And she said it's the best thing that ever happened to her.
How much does she charge?
So for her readings, when she does them on their live, it's $35. If she does it privately, I've heard $60 up to $100, and I just don't think she gets many of them. And the
Right.
fact that, yeah, and she will spend so long on individual readings, she'll go on tangents and draw out the time, and um, and it's like, is $35 just worth you telling multiple people? Um, so
Technically, hold on.
yeah,
Karma, technically, yes, she is committing fraud.
yeah, and and that's the thing where there's no real governing body over mediums. It's a very complicated situation. I
Yeah, there's really, well, here's the other thing too. Uh, in fact, actually, keep going on, keep
Yeah,
getting your story out, keep letting
yeah,
everybody know what you need to let them know. I'll
yeah.
be right
Complex because she's my mom, if that. So I feel like that's why it's more important just to just speak out on the facts instead of, but I also understand where she's saying that she's the best medium ever. She is promoting herself like she's some kind of celebrity. Um, that that does open you to being, publicly criticized for things that are beyond your control.
Autumn just said that Sean came in. Sean,
Oh,
if you're in here, would you
hi
like a box?
Sean. Let's talk, Sean.
You're more than welcome to a box. I would love
Yeah.
to hear your side of the story.
I don't think I've ever heard Sean speak, but he will, he'll type, but he won't speak himself.
I'm going to allow Ashley to come up too.
Okay. Um, but what was I going to say? So, yeah, I know some people are like rooting for the downfall of my mom to see her lose everything. And that's not my goal with this. I love my mom so much, but she won't realize that this isn't okay.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi.
Ashley. How are you?
Hi. So I just want to give a little bit of like my backstory with Mickey.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to go in Mickey's live all the time. I had a reading for her from her before I knew everything that was going on. Um so I was always in her live all the time, and then I'm also a medium, but I was in her live, and it was, I'd go in there and I'd say, "Hey Mickey," but I was trying to figure things out because I started noticing things that were not okay. So I ended up having Miranda called her three-way so I can, kind of talk to Mickey one on one and tell her like, "Hey Mickey, yeah, I did say, because she had someone message me and ask if I can trust her, and I said no, you can't trust her. She fishes for information. She's not real." And so like Mickey like kind of called me out on it, and I said, "Yes, Mickey, I did say that because you are hurting people." And then she blocked me and
Mm-hmm.
was saying that I started like the exposing scammers. Like, I'm all over that, she says, and I have nothing to do with any of it. I've never posted anything. I have reached out to people to make them aware of what's going on that are like in her room. um but then just the other day, and this has been months since I have even like talked about any of this, or I don't even watch her no more because I'm blocked. But they came into my live, and I don't know if you guys know of Randall.
As in Randall B. Gillis?
No, it's a fake account, and it's Randall, and then another one is supporting Mickey and Sean.
Huh.
Oh, okay.
So they came into my live the other day, and it was weird because Randall's like, "You need to apologize," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "You need to apologize to Mickey now."
That sounds like
Yeah,
Sean, if I had to
yeah.
guess.
And I was like, "I am not apologizing to nobody because I spoke the truth. I'm not gonna sit here and apologize to, someone that's doing people wrong,
Yeah.
because I was truthful for it. Now you're gonna come into my live and harass me." So I blocked them, and then they had another account made, and they just keep like coming into my live harassing me because I'm putting
Yeah.
awareness out there.
That does sound like Sean, if I had to guess.
Yeah, he's like, "Ashley," he's like, "You know who I am," and I was like,
Oh Lord.
or no, he said, "I know who you are," and I said, "If you know who I am, then tell everybody who I am." I had like 200 people in my live. If you know who I am, tell people then.
Yeah. The thing, my mom will block so many people. I don't know how many people she has blocked. It could be thousands at this point. And that's part of the reason why her account isn't really gaining much traction anymore. And she won't understand that. Like, if you keep blocking and blocking and blocking, any social media will like flag that as odd to do. And it just shows that she, somewhere deep down, that she has to feel guilty in some way. And it just goes to show that she blocked Bamboozle preemptively.
Well, you see, here's the thing: when blocking people and individuals,
Uh-huh.
you block up to 10,000, you've pretty much ran out of room.
Oh, Oh,
You can no
wow.
longer block anymore. You've got to only be able to mute, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy because so when all this was happening, when it was Miranda who was like, I'll call Mickey for you,
Ugh,
you know. So it was
jeez.
Miranda. So Miranda was calling me every single day. She's like, Ashley, watch this reading. Like, look how fake she is, talking so much crap. And then when she put the Amazon wish list up a while ago when her trip was happening,
Hmm.
Miranda was the one that was talking about I'm gonna have people send weird what it is, but toys.
Yeah, I think I understand.
So was telling me that, so I ended up blocking Miranda because
Wow.
Miranda was talking so much crap about her, but me
Wow.
behind my back, like her Mickey's mods were telling me like,
Wow.
um, so I Miranda, but Miranda's like still in there and like best friends with her, which I think awareness needs to be brought to her as well.
Yeah. So going on Miranda for a second, I just remembered it, but there was I think this kind of goes to what you were talking about. So I just happened to see that my mom was talking about like the possibility of people coming to our house, and she said something to the extent of, I have two uh presents or something in my closet. And I went in to talk to my mom. I'm like, you don't say that. If someone shows up, you just call the police and handle it maturely. And I know for a fact that Miranda was listening. I don't know if she was in a live or if she was just talking to Miranda privately. Miranda had the audacity to message my sister within like seconds of me starting to talk to my mom and making it sound like I was just yelling at my mom, and it caused a fight to between me and my sister because I just was trying to talk to my mom. And it just goes to show that Miranda loves to stir trouble as well.
Yep.
She is not trustworthy.
She's not at all. And I figured that out for myself when, she would call me every day and she's like, oh, Ashley, Mickey's saying that, you're part of the exposing scammers. And I was like, no, I'm not. Like, have Mickey show you
No,
the
that's
page.
my job.
Exactly. So I'm just saying, like, they said, oh, well, the gorilla, that's your hair, Ashley. That's your hair. And I said, tell Mickey to fucking prove it then. Prove it if
Gosh.
it's me, because I don't have time to sit there and watch you for hours and record you. Like, I have my own life.
Yeah. It
Exactly, Karma. It sounds like she is a shit stirrer.
She
yeah.
is, and that's why I wanted to come up, is kind of put that out there
Yeah.
too, because Miranda's in there and she's acting all nice, and she
Yeah.
used to talk a lot of crap about Mickey in her lives. I don't know if she still does that because I haven't been in there, but she would
Probably.
always talk crap about Mickey.
Yeah.
Why don't you give them validations? Why don't you prove to them like
So
stuff like that?
yeah, that just goes to show that Miranda and Sean are her biggest um contributions to like all this drama and stuff happening,
Yep.
because I'm assuming they are, feeding all the negative stuff, hyper focusing on the so-called, you know negative things on the Reddit page and the exposing pages, and it just it upsets my mom, and it makes her more emotional and has more of reaction on her lives. So
Yeah.
they are the biggest issues. um
So with all the hurtful things that she has said, she's also doxed individuals, correct?
Um, to my understanding, that stemmed a lot from Sean and Miranda as well. I don't know who actually did the doxing. I don't know if it was my mom or if it was Sean and Miranda, because Sean has gone out to like message people, say, we have your information, expect something in the mail from a lawyer. And he allegedly talked to a lawyer today, and it's like, you talk a lot of games, Sean, but you are all bark. You're no bite. You want to make all these threats, but you'll never follow through. You have no ground to stand on.
Well, look, in the aspects of being doxxed, I've been doxxed five
Yeah,
times on this app.
yeah. It's
And
not
it's
it's
not
not a
fun,
no, it's
but
not, and that's
here's the kicker.
yeah,
The first time that I was doxxed, I was scared shitless.
yeah,
But then after I realized, you could dox so many people, or you could dox me so many times, it gets old. And
yeah.
nobody gives a shit. Sorry the language, but
No, you're
I
fine.
mean, but it's still in the back of your mind. But
Yeah,
here's the thing: you want to show up on somebody's front doorsteps, you best better be willing to pay the price for it. because there'll be cops sitting right out there outside the street. You best better be willing to pay the price for it.
Location where they live, maybe where they work, or phone numbers, and you release it to either the public or to your crowd of, crowd of just awful people.
Here's
To
the thing,
Yeah,
and this is almost a textbook definition of doxing. Doxing is the malicious intent to
yeah,
do harm to individuals by revealing financial records, their current address, their
yes,
full government name, their phone numbers that they are utilizing now, in a sense to do harm for that. Ashley, you could have stayed up here, dear. There was no reason for you to drop. But if you're okay, that's fine.
yeah. Thank you so much for speaking, Ashley.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
definitely adds more perspective, because I just was not aware about like all that stuff with Miranda.
No, I'm glad Ashley was able to speak up. She deserved it.
Yeah,
Yes, and to instill fear. Yes, thank you. That is
yeah.
literally the gist of what the definition of doxing is. Yes, D, you could always come up. Let me find you. Put it a request. There you are. Gotcha. So yes, doxing is considered illegal. Now, that being said, if you are doxed, contact your local police department
Yeah,
and let them and give them the full information. In fact, if you're able to get receipts, whether it be recorded, video recorded, sound recorded, or any kind of permanent pictures, get them, give it to the police, get their names, their contact names on this app, and all that information. Some states do turn around and pursue doxing cases. They'll put a detective on it because in some states, like I said, it's illegal to do that.
So with Sean going in and finding my Facebook and taking screenshots of my profile that has my whole name in it, that's considered doxing. He made a video, several videos
Right.
with me and
When
my
you get into
Facebook.
that situation, it becomes a gray area. Now, if your
Mhm.
Facebook page was private and that you only had friends only accessing your Facebook page, they may turn around and utilize that at a different aspect because
Mhm.
Facebook is public. Unless you turned around and put it private, if it was an open public page, would I do it? No, no.
Mhm.
There's been instances where I've really kicked myself in the ass for doing a few things. But that being said, that's why if you're on social media, lock down your stuff.
yeah,
Lock down your stuff to a point where nobody can gain access to it at all. Now, that being said, if he did get your information, he did get your pictures, and he maliciously, with the intent to cause you discomfort, fear, uh, concern, then yes, that would be considered doxing. So, in technical terms, if you're not private on Facebook and he got your information and put it out there on social media, which such as TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, if he did that maliciously, then yes, that is considered doxing.
Okay, because he took quite a few of my pictures and put disgusting songs to them, calling me all kinds of names.
he's awful.
He screenshotted a post where I was talking about I had just found out that a friend of mine that I took care of I worked in assisted living. He screenshot that post where I just found out that they had just passed away.
Awful.
When it all started with me and Mickey because I had inboxed her and I told her I am a medium. Um, And I told her what she was doing is very disturbing, that she should be ashamed of herself. She opened up the message while she was on live and she said, "Oh, Sean, here we go." And she gave him that information. He pretended to be a mod on Reddit and said, "Hey, somebody's using your picture on Mickey's live right now." And I went into the live and there was my picture as her green screen, and him, Miranda, and another family member was using that same picture as well as a profile picture. They've accused me of running the Reddit page. They are accusing me currently of running the Exposing Scammers page. Even today, Sean was bringing me up, calling me fake, saying I don't have anything to do in life but sit and watch her for hours on end. I watch her maybe 2 hours a day, if that, sporadically through the day. He's done the thing with the Facebook. Now I've compiled something on Dropbox where I've put everything together and I've sent it to the appropriate people, because some of these things are being done while he's at work on the clock.
That's not good.
No,
So,
because if somebody find out where he works, he could lose his job.
well, we did find out where he worked, and it
Oh,
was verified he worked there.
okay.
And he's a team leader. He is a supervisor.
That's
He's a team
crazy.
lead.
That's unreal. I didn't realize he was
Now,
a team leader.
and
Yeah.
make no mistake, I do not recommend anybody go in real life to have somebody lose their job. That I won't agree to, but you have individuals that are out there that will do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
However, that's why I said, and I push for calling local police. Let them take over, like let them take control, let them investigate, and let them take the reins.
Yeah.
Ruger, what do you mean by assisted living common factor? If you don't mind explaining that.
Hey, Savannah. To put it bluntly, she is not legitimate, if that's what you're asking. I do not believe she is a legitimate medium.
Look, basically, what it boils down to, and I'm going to be straight out honest from what I've heard so far this evening.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm sorry that I have to say this. Yeah, you're a scammer, Mickey.
I'm gonna drop. Thank you so much for having
No,
me.
you're welcome,
Thank you
D.
for
You
sharing
know
your
you're
story,
welcome to the
Diane.
box
You're
anytime.
welcome.
So, Leslyn, you say that she's not. Um, is that what is that how I'm hearing this and how you're saying it? I mean, is that correct? That you feel that she's not a scammer? So, oh, okay, she is. Okay, okay, gotcha. You're good, Leslyn.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you catch part of the conversation, sometimes you miss it, and that's understandable. But as far as I'm concerned, she's a scammer. Now, the question is, the day, and I've seen a lot of people ask, um, okay, she's not real. Okay, you're good. Um, what pay apps does she use? PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Zelle?
See, that's the thing. I I think it's PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, but she also has to use accounts belonging to, I believe Miranda's husband has one, and
You
it
know that's actually money laundering, right?
I yeah, and
Okay, you
it
know that is illegal in all states.
yes, and it's just if you are legitimate, mom, why do you have to go through such lengths to do that? And that's just another thing that is telling about her.
Yes,
It's
Cali
just
girl. Yes, I forgot. And that's also considered wire fraud because now you're funneling money through somebody else's pay apps. And it doesn't matter what pay app you're
mhm,
using,
yeah.
it could be PayPal, Zelle, whatever. It is considered money laundering.
Yeah.
And if the authorities find out that you're conducting that, yes, Karma, you are correct too, it's considered bank fraud, they could turn around and investigate you,
Yeah,
and
which
you
is
will be arrested for money laundering.
um Ruth, to be honest, I don't know because on the just on the fact that I can't monitor all the time. I don't know how many readings she's getting, especially lately. I honestly could not have any idea unless every single person who does readings comes and like testifies. I don't know. I don't look at her financials whatsoever. Um
And Anne Marie, real quick, I want to answer her question. She asked, "How is it money laundered?" Okay, so I held a live once in reference to pay apps and how it's considered money laundering. What it is, and how it's best described in layman's terms, when you're utilizing somebody else's pay app, that means you're taking that money from what you are to get, giving it to somebody else. Once it goes to them and exchanges hands, you don't know, where it came from, how it came from, how the funds came in. And, say for instance, I PayPal'd her $100, but it didn't go to her, it went to another person's pay app. But then they took that $100 and gave it to her. That's exchanging hands illegally. And that's why it's hence the reason why it's called yeah, it's basically the same as fencing. So basically, this young woman is a money mule for Mickey.
yeah.
So
Um so gosh, there is a couple other things.
go
Um
ahead.
and I just honestly was not aware of a lot of these things, like her using other accounts, until like really really recently. I am not trying to control my mom. It's her decision what she does financially and everything.
Hmm.
um and she will go and also say that she doesn't have any friends. She has such a victim complex. But there was a woman who drove to our house from a different state, and we were given no heads up about this situation. She was coming to cut her hair and everything. And the woman seemed really nice and sweet, but it's just the fact that my mom doesn't take consideration for anything. She doesn't take consideration for anyone else. And it would have been nice just to been given a quick hey, this person's going to be here. And it's just another thing. um and I don't know, it's just, I love my mom, I really do, but she's making so many bad choices, and it's just not going to end well for her.
No, legally it's not.
No.
And
And
Dee also made mention too, and I forgot, she is going to have to pay taxes. And you know how I
um
know that?
she swears up and down that she has been paying on them. I don't know.
Well,
It could just be her saying that she is.
think she is?
I I wish I could believe my mom, but like with how she's been, I just don't know what to believe anymore.
I
Like,
believe this because she's going to have to pay taxes off of this.
wow.
Now, don't get that. I mean, that's in the last 300
Yeah.
days, but still, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Hi,
Uh,
Missy Muffy.
I just, I don't know. It's just a very very upsetting situation as just her daughter.
Missy Muffy. Hello. Yes. Scam Opera is right. She Scam Opera is a good person to listen to because she does have an awful lot of knowledge. She's been doing this a lot longer than me, or a little bit longer than me, but she's a good person. She does. She don't take no shit from nobody either. Let me tell you something. She'll call you out how it happens. I don't give a crap. So, yeah, she is an OG. I mean, all I gotta say is when Scam talks, you listen. Period. Missy Muffy, how you doing, dear?
I'm good. Hey, I just wanted to kind of tell my story. I lost my son in 1997 in a quad accident, and his best friend was sitting on the quad, and his stepbrother was on the other quad.
What's a quad? I'm sorry.
Four-wheeler.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, and there was a lot of rain that summer, so he went down the hill. He told his best friend to it, and easy, but there was a big puddle at the bottom, and the hill was only like maybe 20 feet tall. So when he went down, the front tires sunk into the puddle and it flipped the quad. And he had a helmet on, but it broke his neck.
Oh.
Mm.
And so, anyways, you know, we all had to get through that. But the boy on the quad that was with him, I kept in touch with him for years. And, I would take him camping and I would, um, when he got to be 18, I'd take him camping and we'd have, a couple of beers and he never shared anything. So 11 years later, he ended up, um, I don't know if I can say it, he tied a rope to a tree.
He unalived himself.
Yeah,
Oh.
Okay.
11 years later, but he never confided in me. So, anyways, fast forward. Um, I always watched psychics, Thomas John, the seatbelt psychic, and I thought, wow, like he's pretty good. So I would watch his lives. He's got quite a few followers. And then this was only like maybe 6 months ago. And all of a sudden I got a message right away from Thomas John. And I thought, oh my God, I was watching his live and, maybe he picked up vibes and wanted to talk to me. And then all of a sudden it ended up, you can send me this much money and I'll give you a reading. And then I kind of clicked on his uh, page and he only had like 350 followers.
Mm-hmm.
So then I kind of knew that, you know, this is a fake page, right?
Oh yeah.
And I ended up on the real Thomas John's page and I just said in the chat, I said, there's people trying to get money using your name. And he said, yeah, there's lots of them. And it ended up being like, I bet you 5 people messaging me because they go on his live and pick people out. And it's sad, you know,
It is.
Yeah.
like all
Yeah.
these scammers want to pry on people's,
Emotions.
Yep.
exactly.
Well, and Ashley, Ashley down in the comments said it exactly perfect. Don't, and I've said it too, just in a different light. Do not give your money to individuals on social media. Look,
Yeah,
with respects, broken daughter, I know you care about your mom. I know
Yeah.
you love your mom. That is without a doubt. But the problem is that she's taken her path and she's going to continue on the path that she wants to do. What our ultimate goal is what we've done.
Yeah.
We've put out the information on her.
Mm-hmm.
awareness on her.
Yeah.
Uh, and the thing is that it is your money. Let's not get that wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It is your money, but what's more important? The money that should be utilized for your family to take care of you and your loved ones, or money to a medium
Yeah.
that gives you false hope,
Yeah.
that verbally bashes you, that even potentially causes you to almost unalive yourself.
Yeah.
No, that's not for me, and that will never be for me. My money is my money, and I'm
Yeah.
going to use it my way, not their way.
Yeah.
And I have to honestly put it out there that yeah, she is scamming people. Sean is a part of it. Now, somebody did state in the comments, and it's a good point. Is he getting something monetarily out of it? Is the other woman, the other mod, getting something monetarily on the back end?
See, that's a great thing to speculate about because I just don't have the answer. I don't know why Sean and Miranda are so invested in helping my mom do this, but they have to know that what she's doing isn't right. And
No, you're right. But here's the other aspect. They're obviously in it for the clout, the
yeah,
attention.
I do think so.
And it makes them feel important to be a mod for somebody that is fake or
Yeah,
committing fake acts, would be
yeah.
the best way to put it.
I do think that they get a thrill out of being able to like ban anyone who dares question my mother. And a lot of people who have been longtime watchers, they're getting banned now. Um, and they're just awful to people to question them.
Right. And that's the thing, is that ultimately, you know notice in her page here, though, she doesn't have any pay apps.
Yeah, she has it like hidden. You have to go through like a link.
Right.
And I think it pulls up her website.
Now, what what moving forward on how to take care of a platform or a page of this sort, you did the
Mhm.
right thing by reaching out to TikTok. That was your first step, and I would recommend that with anybody. TikTokLegalSupport.com. Um, the next thing that I would do is continue to bring your own awareness about it, about the situation. Don't be afraid to go live and put up a picture and say, look, this is awareness purposes. This is the reason why you should not be giving money to individuals. Does your
Yeah.
mom have a job, or is she considered TikTok her job?
So originally, when my
Yes.
dad died, she did work as like a caregiver,
Mm-hmm.
but something changed within her after she started doing more TikTok stuff. She says this is her job. This is her job. Her job is to help people. It's not always about the money, but the thing is, you are asking people $35 to potentially humiliate them and open bad wounds and re-traumatize them and make them more upset because you want to pretend you're talking to their deceased loved ones, and it's not a job, mom. You are just charging people to hurt them.
Well, let me
You're
ask you this too.
yeah.
If your mom sits and considers this, hey, snap, crack, pop, how you doing, dear? If your mom considers TikTok a job, okay,
Yeah.
the question that I would ask is, how's your retirement? You
See,
know,
that's exactly, I've said, you can't provide me
hi,
any
Denise.
any pay stubs. You don't have a 401k. You don't have insurance through like an actual job. You don't have any savings to, as far as I'm aware. I don't know if she has anything saved or anything.
Well, and
She
see, that's the long term
Yeah.
effects that are going to affect
Yeah.
you and your family,
Yeah.
and that's
And
something that look. It sounds like she's obsessed with TikTok.
yes.
That's straight up facts there.
Yes. um
She's fixated on making money her way, but it's the wrong way to look at
yeah.
it.
See, I would be okay if she was on here as like a support group for, people who have lost their spouses, as something like that. But it's the fact that, you know, she will just treat you indifferently until you give her $35. Um she and the thing is, internet is forever. If one day she comes to her senses and actually tries to find a legitimate job, this will be over her head for the rest of her life if she doesn't stop now. And that is
Correct.
what I'm trying to bring awareness to.
Do
And
you do you know what's all involved in becoming a psychic medium?
yeah, that's the thing. She has, you know, if you want to call it that, two, not even 2 years of experience. Like if you went to a doctor or a surgeon or a mechanic or someone who does very intensive skilled work and they say, I've only been doing this for like a year now, I didn't go to any school or college or anything that could accredit me, but you know, I'm the best there is, and everyone who says otherwise, they're being haters, they're obsessed with me. It's that kind of logic that really upsets me.
To be a psychic medium, it takes you got to develop abilities through consistent practice, training, and self care of yourself.
Yeah.
The key steps, including practice mediation, stay
Yeah.
mindful of one's senses,
Yeah.
working with spirit guides, clearing past negative energies to build a stronger, clear, precise connection with individuals.
Yeah.
And the thing is that it's a list here. I mean, you got to connect to your spirit, mediation
Mhm.
and mindfulness, honing their clairvoyant senses, and clearing any negative energy. And the thing is from what you just told us all, she doesn't really have done that any of this.
No, honestly, she is a source of negative energy as she is at the moment.
Right.
Until she actually takes time, stays off TikTok, just stops with the medium thing and actually processes what happened to my dad. Because it is a very emotional and exhausting thing to have to face your grief head on. But until she does that, she is not going to help other people. And that's what she will not come to terms with.
Well, it even goes deeper than that because and this is one, and hopefully I get the right page. Uh,
And just a side note, Ashley, I'm not saying that, you know, you have to be certified to be a medium. I'm just saying it's like that kind of process. It's how she's
here it is.
acting.
Look at the ones. It literally in bold letters it says, "Learning to interpret and deliver messages."
Yeah.
You don't deliver messages by giving negative vibes or
Yeah.
negative information or so forth. This I'm reading this directly from what I got, and like I said, I am not a perfect person, or I wouldn't even say that I'm anywhere near clairvoyant. I had an experience once, and it was with my twin brother. However,
Yeah.
it says here maintaining your well-being
Yeah.
is a key thing, and
Um
what?
Scully, I just saw your comment. So I kind of touched on this earlier, but my mom's always sort of like believed in like supernatural and spiritual stuff. She watched a lot of a Long Island Medium, I think it was. She would watch a lot of Bigfoot documentaries. She she would look at like dust particles in our room, and just call it orbs. But I think my dad's death is what really caused something in her to snap. You know, I'm not trying to, you know, air out all the private things between me and my family, but unfortunately my dad's death is the major cause of all of this, and it's just a very sad thing because she's hurt so many people.
I
A
do want to
broken
point out one
daughter.
thing, and I have it on the picture up here real quick.
Yeah.
Near the bottom, do you all see what I'm seeing? Professional and legal aspects of becoming a medium. Be aware that in some areas, There are laws regarding licensing, taxing, and background checks for professional psychic services.
Yeah.
Now, that's a good question. In your location, does she not have a license? Does she have a license?
Um, I don't believe she does.
Oh, well, then she's in violation right there.
Yeah.
Dependent upon your state that you live in,
Yeah.
does she file the taxes legally as a psychic medium?
That's the thing. I don't look at my mom's finances, so if she has or hasn't, that I just don't know
Okay.
because
Oh, her
it's just
state doesn't recognize psychics as legitimate.
yeah, it's just I can't have a civil conversation because if you look on my account, you'll see a clip of her raising her voice at me. I don't mean to cause such emotional outbursts, but it's like I can't have a civil conversation. It always leads to arguments, and she just doesn't see how it's hurting me and my brother specifically because we live here and we experience it.
Right.
Can I just say something,
Yeah.
broken daughter?
Yeah.
Um, there is a thing called, if you look it up and search it, it's called cord cutting. And you lay down flat and you listen to what they tell you, and you can go into your spirit guides and everybody that has passed away in your life, and it's called cord cutting. So with your mother, you can cut that cord, and I'll tell you one thing, you will feel so much better after you do that. So please just research it and try it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you for the suggestion, and thank you so much for, sharing your perspective too.
Thanks.
Mhm.
Okay, all for one, you can drop me down, please.
Alrighty, dear. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Um so yeah, it's just it's definitely a lot with my mom. It's just a whole can of worms once you find out what she's doing.
Well, I'm going to suggest this to anyone and everyone that's still in this live. I would strongly suggest not giving your money to an individual that is going to bully you back, period.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Um
yeah,
how long how long
it's
she
going to
been
be,
doing
it's
this?
not going to be easy. It's almost like TikTok shop. You start
Yeah.
buying stuff from that and you start getting onto a roll with it.
Mhm.
But so how do you feel?
Um well,
Relieved
first,
a little bit?
Sisha, I see your question. She started TikTok like instantly the days after my dad died. So his anniversary is coming up at the start of next month, November 4th, I believe. It is either the 3rd or the 4th because it was like after midnight. So it's literally just been 2 years, just 2 years of this, 2 years of seeing my mom spiral downward, and I've just felt helpless. But to answer your question, all for one, I do feel relieved now that I've had the chance to share my perspective. And I again, I thank you very much for just letting me talk and share my side of things. And
Well, you know
um,
what I said to you? I said your voice deserves to be heard. Anyone's voices deserve to be heard, whether they've been scanned or they know of the individuals themselves.
yeah,
I'm sorry for the loss of your father. I
thank
truly
you,
am.
thank you.
I went through the same thing this year myself.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's like people are saying it is kind of like I've lost both parents at once. Um, and I guess I'm just at the point where I'm just kind of grieving that my mom will probably never be the same, and I don't want to make this my life. I don't want this to be my legacy. I just want to move forward and do other things. I have shared some of the art that I've done recently just to like kind of come to grips with my father. and just, trying to process his absence in my own way. And it's the sad thing, I don't even feel like I can share that with my mom because she just doesn't care if it's not TikTok. And it's sad. It really is.
Shisha, turn around and I hope I said that correctly. I'm sorry. Have you suggested grief counseling for your mom?
She is seeing a therapist at the moment. I think she's like in 5 sessions or so. I don't really want to talk about what they've
No, 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 no,
discussed.
no.
But the
It,
thing is, I don't even know if my mom is being entirely transparent with her therapist either. I
would you consider family therapy?
if she is open to it, I am, yes, but I my mom just doesn't like having her mistakes brought up in front of her, and she feels like it's an attack on her. But if you can't even face your past, you can't face accountability. And my mom is at that point where she doesn't want to face her past or her mistakes.
Right. Wow.
Um, yeah. And I've told her that her reality is a reflection of a broken mirror. And I do believe that is the world she's living in right now.
Yeah. She's focused on her situation, her world, her ideals, and it's not the ones that are conducively the best for a family, in my opinion.
Yeah. Um, and she has talked about how she's going to move out, and that is fair. I totally think that is something she can do, but it's the fact that she announced it on her TikTok first. It always has to be TikTok first. She can't have a normal conversation with me or my brother. And it's said that shoot, where was I going with this?
Ruth's here.
Oh, hi Ruth.
Hi guys, how are you?
I'm
Good.
good. How are you doing?
Good. I just want to say, this is hard now. It's 1:35 in the morning here. I'm in Ireland and I stayed up specifically to come in here tonight and just show my love and support.
Oh,
I I put there in the comments a second ago. Um, you know, I you haven't been given the space to grieve for your dad
yeah, yeah, I think so.
past this,
Yeah.
and that's difficult. Just to share a little bit of my story, and I won't stay on long. Um, I lost my gorgeous, beautiful dad on the 20th of June. Um, he had been battling dementia for the last 6 years. Um, so we were kind of losing dad for those 6 years. I was new to TikTok, and I guess I I was broken. Um, I was so devastated and sad and lonely. I was lonely, um, and I came upon Mickey's page, and I watched her for a little bit, um, and I kind of, my gut told me something, and I'm sorry I didn't listen to my gut now, but so I
You were
watched for a
vulnerable. You
while.
were vulnerable.
Yeah, I watched for a while, and at the start I thought, wow, this is a lovely lady, trying to help people, and then I came upon this the uh, the page, the scammer page, and I watched them, and just to see, get a different perspective. And when I came on that page and I followed the page, next thing I knew, I had been blocked from Mickey's page.
Mm-hmm.
So I reached out to Sean, and I asked him, you know, why was I blocked? Because I had it in my head. I wanted to get a reading of Mickey. So he told me that because I had followed this page, that I couldn't follow her page. And I was so distraught, and I was so vulnerable, and I so wanted to get a message from Dad. You know something, God, I hate admitting this. I begged him. I said, please, can I come back on the page, because I really want a reading from Mickey. And I begged him. And like now I look at that and I go, oh God, you fool. So I was let back on, and I asked for a reading one day, and she was sitting outside, and I deliberately said to myself, right, you are not going to give any information, Ruth. It's going to be yes or no answers, and you know, I needed to find out. So like one big question that was in my head was the last 6 months of Dad's life, he didn't know us. And, you know, we knew for a week that Dad was passing away, and we stayed with him 24/7. We slept in the hospital. There's just myself and my brother and sister and my mum, and we slept on floors. And the morning that I'm living pretty close to the hospital here, and my mum and my brother had come back here for a shower, and myself and my sister were with Dad, and kind of just all of a sudden we noticed a change, and so we rang our brother and we said, look, you better get in here. So myself and my sister were just pleading with Dad, please just hang on, Dad, Mom's on her way, hang on, she wants to be here. And she was pulling into the car park when he took his last breath. And all I wanted to know was, because Dad didn't know us for the last 6 months, did he know that it was us with him? You know, that he didn't feel he didn't feel alone. And so that was it. That was a huge question that I wanted answered. So
I can give you the
anyway,
answer without being a medium. Your dad knew that it was you. He knew you all were there. I could tell you that without a doubt in my mind. You know why? Because I went through damn near the damn same thing as you did. My dad was laying on the bed in the hospital, and I sat and wondered myself if he knew that we were all there, eyes closed, barely breathing, but I knew that he knew we were all there. My brother, my sister, my mom, and I feel that for you. I know your dad knew you were all there. He knew. And that doesn't take a medium to know that. That's a fact.
yeah, I still have a hard time with
And
it,
I
I
know,
guess.
it is hard.
Yeah,
I
I'm so
relive
sorry.
those moments in my life the same as the next person.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
like Callie Girl said, they know. I know they know.
yeah,
And the last thing that I can remember is give him a kiss on his head, and I told him that I loved him. And with that, he was already gone. But I knew that he knew.
Yeah.
and I don't know if it brings you any comfort, but you know, he was surrounded by his family, and you know, I appreciate you sharing your perspective on things, Ruth. It's not right what's been happening, and this is why I feel like it's so important for people to come and speak out, just so my mom can hear how she is hurting so many people, and it just, it's not right.
Yeah, and like that day, she made fun of my Irish accent.
Well, for one, your accent's lovely. You don't
Oh,
let.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it so much. I'm so jealous.
My aunt's from Ireland.
Really? Is that why
Mm-hmm.
you're so crazy?
Yeah. Look, anybody that makes fun of somebody's accent, they have issues.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think my mom deep down just has so many unprocessed feelings. She has to take it out on other people, because I grew up with a lot of just passive aggressive comments, and it's hard because she hasn't really changed in some aspects like that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she told me nothing. All she kept saying was, "Oh, your dad loved you,"
Yeah, yeah,
and
that
then
is something she
like
does.
she said to me, he used to wear a flat cap, like in the,
Yeah,
all of these movies with
yeah,
Irish people all wear flat
just
caps, you know.
stereotypes and stuff.
So I just no, no, no. And at the time, I really should have opened up and went, this is not a good reading, but I didn't. I didn't let it be
Yeah,
known that I was really,
yeah,
really not happy.
and
And I came off of it, and I gave a week or two thinking, and I was
yeah,
kind of going, oh, no way, I'm looking for a refund. So
yeah,
I did, and
yeah,
I told her that I wouldn't leave it go, that until I got my refund, that I would be contacting her every day.
yeah, and
So
that's the thing. When you're on live in front of other people, some people just have anxiety. It's hard for them to speak up, and a lot of the times my mom has the insistent, so I was right, right, I'm right, yeah, I'm right.
yeah,
It's so
absolutely, yeah,
insistent, and it's
yeah,
hard for people to speak against that.
yeah. It is, and look, I did get a refund. I was lucky. I got the
I'm
refund,
happy, I'm glad that
you
happened
know.
to you.
But then Sean started at me,
Yeah, that's not right.
Oh no, wait a minute,
and
wait a minute. Just Laos, hopefully I said that. Just Low said that she's used a slur word for mental slowness.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I heard that
don't
actually.
take me
Yeah.
down that path because that's a path that will not end well.
She allegedly said it today or yesterday. Um, yeah, she has a history of saying it a lot.
I'm sorry, but mediums or psychic mediums, yeah, they don't say that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So that right there is a telltale sign. Scammer.
yeah,
Yeah, it is inexcusable karma. You're correct, and it's actually it, it goes against our guidelines. So you know
yeah.
what? I don't feel one bit bad. She gets nannered,
And
and you know what? You only get nannered so many times, you lose your whole
yeah.
account.
And it's just from the perspective of me being on the spectrum, it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. It's
Yeah, but
really,
between you and Ruth and
yeah,
everybody else that's been scammed by them, you are much better people because you have
thank
the
you.
ability to speak out. It
Yeah,
is your right, and you're putting out factual and truthful information, plain and
yeah,
simple.
I, and I don't think scammer is a strong enough word for what they do.
Vile,
yeah,
disgusting.
Yeah.
yeah,
And Sean, I think, is a big, big part of it.
yeah,
He messaged me last week and said that, because obviously I've been very vocal on all of the platforms,
yeah.
and he actually said to me, and it's down in black and white. He actually said to me that I made up my dad and his passing just to set Mickey up.
That's
Wow.
despicable.
Wow.
Yeah. And
That's disgusting.
I feel like he is targeting you because I happen to mention you and Diane in videos, and it's just inexcusable what he's doing. It is awful.
And I
That's
begged
nasty.
him, and begged him, please
Yeah.
leave me alone, please leave me alone.
So
And
now
he
he's
wouldn't
harassing
leave
you
me
by
alone.
communication.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
wow. That seems like a common occurrence with him.
Yeah.
Like their reach transcends oceans. You know, I'm over
Yeah.
here in Ireland and look at the damage they're doing to me.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
that's
Princess Peach had made a good point. Yeah, I'm sensing that too as well. Um, so here's what I would suggest: anybody that's still in this chat and this live, report to Cash Apps. I don't give a shit at who it is. Report to Cash App. You get it. You give it out to everyone that you could possibly give it out to. You share it out with everyone. You start reporting it. And yes, you can multiple report Cash Apps so that when that one said person that's utilizing a Cash App illegally because it's considered money laundering loses said Cash App, they crap their pants because they can't create another one unless they turn around and get a new IP address, which in that turn they have to turn around and get a new phone. I would report any and all other apps, pay apps, as fraudulent business practices. She does have a Cash App. It's her mod's Cash App. Exactly, Karma. Just like Maggie. When you go to report her lives, go in under a troll account. Don't say a single word. What I would suggest is go in under a troll account, don't say anything, and just mass report for false information, frauds and scams, harassment and bullying, um, hateful behavior because they're utilizing slur words. Free Spirit, she is supposedly a medium, a psychic medium. Her daughter, caring daughter, is up in the upper right hand box. Ruth is in the bottom right, who had been scammed by her. Uh, Link to the internet. Yeah, most people get around it with new phones.
yeah.
Austin Tamargo tried to do that a couple of times. Didn't work for
Yeah.
him. That's the way that I would suggest reporting your page, doing it properly, and also reach out to TikTok Legal, which, Ruth, you have every right to do that as well.
Oh,
Yourself.
definitely. Definitely.
You know, I'm at the stage now that I just want it done. I just don't want to even think about her. I don't want to think
I
about him.
I definitely understand that. You know,
Well, he doesn't contact you anymore, does he? He hasn't contacted you in the past week, has he?
No,
Okay,
no, he
good.
hasn't.
that's good.
Good.
And I think that's because I made it known and I sent the screenshots
Good.
to this to the exposed scammers page.
Good.
And in fairness, I have nothing but huge admiration for everyone that is trying to expose her, and huge admiration for you. I won't call you by your name.
That's okay.
Uh,
You can. It's okay. I
can
don't
I?
mind.
Yeah, okay. Huge admiration for you, Amber. I, I like. I just think you're so brave.
Thank you.
Um, and I just want to validate your feelings as well. You know,
Thank you.
you think you're guilty by association, and anybody that knows you and anybody that is good enough to be in your life, um, won't think that.
Oh,
Thank
and
you.
by the way, Ruth, you know one thing that my aunt turned around and had told me? Don't
Yeah.
ever piss off an Irish.
No, don't ever piss us off,
No. And I
because
learned
that
that the
shit
hard
will come
way.
back and bite you.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Ruth, you know you're
Um,
always welcome in this live, and you're always
yeah,
welcome
and
into a box.
thank you so much for you know hosting this live tonight, because you know you're validating Amber, you're validating all of us that have had the
You all
misfortune
deserve
to scroll.
voices.
Yeah. Thank you so much for speaking up, Ruth. It definitely it just helps cement things. And I know people have told me to stop apologizing, but I am truly sorry for what my mom and Sean have said and done to you. It's not right. And they just need to wise up and grow up and stop this.
But
And hopefully,
what I guarantee you, they will have a huge falling out very very soon.
yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that too.
It's just like the person that's in our chat down below, karma. It does come around.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yes, I do have information leading up to that, but I'm going to save that to the end of this live here. We're going to start wrapping things up here.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna drop down and
Ruth,
If you're ever in Ireland, look me up.
You know I will.
I plan on
Ruth,
it.
you get yourself some rest and you stay safe.
Thank you guys, and thanks for everything.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
too,
Take
Ruth.
care.
Have a good night. Sleep well.
Sleep well.
All right, broken daughter. I'm gonna start wrapping things up here, dear.
No problem. I didn't expect for things to go on this long.
No,
Um,
no, it's okay. It's good to get it out. It's good to
yeah.
speak up.
So I guess I just, want to say my final piece and then I'll leave you alone for the night. But um I do appreciate everyone who's left me comments on all of the videos I've had. And just to prove a point to my mom, I haven't followed anyone back. I hope no one takes offense to that. It's just to show that I'm just on the side of wanting peace and for things to be made right. That is my goal with this. That is why I started this account. Um, and it really does, it makes me so sad to wake up and this is the reality of things, to see my mom being a performative clown on TikTok, pretending that she's talking to someone's dead uncle or someone who just lost their baby. And it's such a sensitive and awful thing, and my heart hurts for everyone that she's affected by this. And again, thank you all for one. You've put a lot of good things into words, and I do appreciate you letting me speak.
Anytime. You're
Yeah.
welcome more than anything that could ever happen.
Yeah.
You deserve your voice, and I'm glad you were able to speak what you needed to bring out.
Thank you. I will be having like my own private live tomorrow night if anyone is interested in joining, just to kind of touch bases and seeing how it goes from there. But
That's a good thing to have. You know
yeah,
why? Because it brings everybody together. It allows you
yeah,
to speak out and talk about it
yeah.
together.
And my mom is block happy, so I am going to provide people the space they need to share their experiences if they weren't able to talk tonight. That's what I'm trying to show my mom. Look at all these people you affected. You say they might be lying, but they are probably telling the truth. No one is going to go out of their way to lie about what you've done. And I will maybe offer caution to not hate watch my mom, if that makes sense.
No, it
Don't give
does.
her
It does.
don't give her like any more attention than she needs. I definitely recommend checking out the Reddit page dedicated to her. Um, Bringing awareness to Mickey on TikTok, exposing scammers. They both do great jobs covering the situation. And I think Bamboozled is going to cover her now.
It is. And don't give them your money. It's
Yeah,
your money.
definitely
Keep
not.
it for you.
No,
I mean,
don't.
today's economy is
Yeah,
getting rough.
it really is. It really is.
So,
Um,
alrighty, dear.
and with that, I see everyone who's affected. But I will leave it at that, and I hope you all have a great night. Thank you so much again.
You stay safe. Thank you very much for coming up, dear.
Thank you. No problem. Bye,
You take
everybody.
care. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, okay, Karma. You want to know? You want to know about Becky? Does anybody want to know about Becky? Night, Dawn. Okay, Karma. You ready for this? Hold on a second. I got to do this the proper way because you're gonna like this, Karma. Yeah, Becky's a known scammer. Hold on. You're gonna see my face. Hello. Good evening. Good evening. Okay. So Becky, I made a phone call. Yes, I did make a phone call. You know, ring ring to Salvation Army. No, I'm not going to do the laugh. However, what information I found out from Salvation Army is going to wait until tomorrow night. Oh, it's going to wait until tomorrow night. Oh, I'm going to make you suffer, Carba. Oh, I'm going to make you suffer. Sorry, Dawn. Yes, I am going to put that information out tomorrow night on top of lots of other good information. One in particular that some may agree or disagree with me. You know, how I'm looking like. I am going to put out one thing, 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Yes, he was arrested. No, she doesn't have bail money. Yes, this is a tease because I want you all to be in the live tomorrow night. I am going to put out one thing. Mark Russell, you all remember him, right? Hi, Anonymous Goth. Mark Russell. Yeah, I'd stay away from him with a 10-foot pole. Trust me. I have documentation that is disgusting and sick. I don't know if he was or not. I don't speak on him at all. But as far as Mark Russell, I would steer clear of him, and hide your daughters and your kids, because 18, 19-year-olds that he's going after, and I have receipts, I cannot put him on here because as disgusting as sick as they are. Yes, he's occasionally been back on occasions. However, I got a hold of a Reddit page that Mark likes to have. Yeah, he has his own personal Reddit page. Go factor that one in. Free Spirit, trust me, you don't want to get anywhere near him. Yep, he is a creepy individual. That's my opinion. That being said, steer clear of him. Don't even go into his live or even engage with him. Trust me. It's stuff that is unsightly, unable to be posted on any social media app whatsoever. I've been said that before, Emmett. The other thing is Maggie Foster. I also got some juicy information on Maggie as well. But we're going to turn around and hold off on putting that out as well. But I can tell you this. If you think that with what she's making off of this app for a minute, she's making a lot more than what you think she is. Chef Carl. Oh, yeah, you know what? We'll throw him up here real quick. Okay? Uh, let's do this because I did my research. I don't know if anybody turned around and tagged on it. So I took a screenshot. Oh, let me change the camera angle. Hold on. There we go. Okay, you see that little device right there? You see that little device? Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool device because it is, in fact, this right here. Diagnostic device and technology solutions. Cardiac monitoring device. Doing Google search. You can now do Google search on devices such as this or inanimate objects. You cannot do searches on facial recognition with Google, which is fine. I don't need to do that. We all know who he is. However, did you guys know that just with his picture, you see where it's at? We all saw the video. I don't know if it was bought off of Amazon. Yeah, it's a Spider Heart monitor. It's a portable device. It's actually a pocket. They consider it a pocket device. Oh, Karma, you're getting close to that. Yes, here's the thing with Sheffy. That device that he has on him, if you look at the video that Trollovision posted, courtesy of Trollovision, credit goes to her. Exactly, Karma. Ding, 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 ding. Sorry it runs in with the chat, but hey, Carl, why is it on your shoulder and it's not? It's not on your chest. It's supposed to be straddling, and this is the exact description and explanation of where the placement's supposed to be. So, Carl, once again, why is it on his shoulder? You know what? How much allegedly do you want to think that that's not really his device? Carl, are you reaching for it? Are you reaching for that money that's deep up in there? Yeah, I know. Maybe that's what he's using it for. I have no idea. But there's your explanation in reference to where the device is supposed to be put. But, pictures speak 1,000 words, I mean, look at the chest hairs. Oh, wait a minute. That's not chest hairs. That's just hairs, let alone. Oh, I know you do, Karma. Yeah, he's using it as his manipulation tactic. Uh, well, and each device may be different for each person, unless it's the exact same one as this, which is this one, which is exactly what Carl has, which leads us to the exact instructions for this one. It is to be placed on the straddling the sternal groove, meaning it's supposed to be on your chest. I didn't realize your heart was on your shoulder, but I may be wrong. My heart's always on my sleeve. So, I'm just saying, I'm putting that out there. So, but, oh, yeah. And here's another one that oh, yeah. I love driving into work and having to listen to imitations of Bill Clinton all morning. Yeah, that was a treat. Yeah. Yes, Emmett, that's where I put my heart's always on my sleeve. You know that. I wear my heart on my sleeve. But yeah, I had the joys of listening to Bill Clinton imitations for almost 45 minutes on my way into work this morning. Yes, look, Tim, get a job. It's interesting how I find out that there's an author online begging. You got Tim Nash, you got Tim Crawford, you got Tim and Angela. I mean, the list is endless. I mean, I'm just suggesting. Oh, and real OG, you might want to be in the live tomorrow night. I hope you're in the live tomorrow night. Yeah. Well, he acts feminine, yes, and that may be his demeanor, but at the same time, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, be there. My strong suggestions: 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Uh, don't nobody pry for the answers for Becky, because you're not going to get them from me tonight. However, there is one other person in this live that does know that answer, and that person will not turn around and talk. Yes, I do. I have a screen recording of him acting racist this morning, just to let you all know. That is going to be Eastern Standard Time. Yes, I'll need to calculate for tomorrow. I am going to wrap things up for the night. I appreciate Broken Daughter coming in. She put out a lot of good pertinent information in reference to her mom. Truthful, honest information. My heart goes out to anyone that has been scammed by the psychic medium Mickey. Don't give your money to individuals like that. I mean, come on. We should all know that by now. I'm just suggesting that. Yeah, sorry, Karma. You're going to have to wait one more day to tomorrow night. You're welcome. And that's it. I'm out of here, folks. stay safe. Let's grind out tomorrow. It's the weekend. And yeah, karma just for you. You're just going to have to wait one more day. It's going to be juicy. Bring your popcorn and make sure you bring your adult beverages because you're going to need them tomorrow night. Everyone, as always, Andrea, you have a good evening. Everyone,